Have you ever noticed how some of the happiest moments in life don't come from big surprises or grand achievements, but from the quiet rhythm of everyday life? Today, I'd like to share with you a story set in Japan 1 that may sound simple at first, but carries a lesson we can all carry into our own families. This is the story of Misaki. She is a woman in her 30s, married, and living in a quiet neighborhood on the edge of a busy city. Every morning she wakes up early, prepares breakfast with care, and shares it with her husband before he leaves for work. For Misaki, this everyday routine is not boring. On the contrary, she finds comfort in it. And though their life is modest, she believes it is full of meaning. Happiness for her is not measured by how loud or dramatic life becomes, but by how safe and loved one feels in a
ただ
home.
さ、今度の土日なんだけどね、急に出張決まっちゃってさ。まあ、クレームの処理っていうか、本社から誰か行かないといけなくなっちゃってさ。
そうなんだ。大変だね。
うん、そうなんだよね。うん、うまい。
気をつけてね。ねえ、本当に出張？
本当にって出張に決まってんでしょ。
そうだけど、土日に出張って初めてだから。
普通はないんだけどさ、ほら工場と夜動いてたりするからさ。
そうだよね。ごめん。
じゃあ行ってきます。
いってらっしゃい。
But as in all families, there are moments when life changes unexpectedly, when routine is gently interrupted. One afternoon, while Misaki was cleaning the house, she heard a knock on the door.
はい。
She opened it and found her husband's younger brother standing there with a shy smile and a small suitcase in hand. He had just arrived from the countryside, hoping to stay for a while as he looked for opportunities in the city.
和也くんいらっしゃい。どうしたの？
あれ、お兄さんは？
約束してた？今日急な出張が決まって今朝出てっちゃったけど。
ああ、そうなんですか。予備試験に合わせて今日からお世話になろうと思ってたんですけど、約束したんだけどな。
あの人最近忘れ物多くって、和也くんとの約束も。
そうなんですか。
とりあえず入って。よしおさんにちょっと電話してみるから。
ありがとうございます。邪魔します。
はい。
At that moment, Misaki's heart skipped. She hadn't been told of this plan. Her husband, busy with work and caught up in deadlines, had forgotten to mention that his brother would be coming. For an instant, she felt surprised, even slightly overwhelmed. Still, as she looked at the young man before her, Misaki chose to smile. She saw not just her husband's brother, but a part of her family, a young person eager to learn, grow, and discover his path. Instead of questioning why she hadn't been told, she invited him in. She offered tea, asked about his journey, and began making space in her home for him.
ありがとうございます。
It was in this small decision, a choice to embrace the unexpected with kindness, that her story took a new turn. Misaki did not know exactly how things would go. There might be challenges. There might be adjustments. But she also sensed that this change could be a chance to deepen family ties, to teach, and to grow herself. The days that followed felt different for Misaki. The apartment, once quiet and predictable, now carried an extra rhythm. A second pair of footsteps in the hallway, an extra seat at the table, a new presence in the living room, where she and her husband once spent their evenings together. At first, there were small adjustments. She had to cook a little more food, wash an extra set of clothes. These were minor changes, but they required patience. Misaki reminded herself that while these tasks seemed small, they carried weight. They meant welcoming someone into the heart of her home. Of course, there were moments of challenge too. One morning, Misaki found herself hurrying to prepare breakfast for 3 instead of 2, only to realize she had run out of eggs. Another evening, she felt tired after a long day, yet there was still more laundry to fold and more dishes to clean. For a moment, she wondered if it might be easier if things returned to how they used to be. But just as fatigue crept in, she also noticed something else. Her brother-in-law was learning to step up. He started helping with small tasks, setting the table, taking out the trash, or offering to pick up groceries on his way home. Each gesture might have seemed ordinary, but to Misaki, it was a sign of maturity, a step toward responsibility. For the first time, Misaki realized that their small apartment had become more than just a home for 2. It was now a space of connection for 3. The climax of her journey was not marked by a single dramatic event. Instead, it was built through these small, almost invisible moments: the patience she practiced, the gratitude he expressed, and the warmth that grew inside their home. These were the threads weaving a stronger family bond, one that even her husband, busy with work, could sense when he walked through the door. And so, what began as a surprise visit slowly transformed into a period of growth for Misaki, for her brother-in-law, and for the family as a whole. Time passed, and Misaki's home transformed quietly but meaningfully. Her brother-in-law grew confident, helping with chores and learning independence, while Misaki became a mentor, supporter, and friend. She realized family is about growing together, turning challenges into bonding moments. Even small acts of kindness built trust and love. When Misaki's husband returned from his business trip, he found a home fuller, warmer, and alive with new energy. Her brother-in-law, once uncertain, now helped confidently, while Misaki radiated a quiet, deep strength. That day, they shared stories, laughter, and reflections, realizing how small changes had brought growth and connection. What began as a minor disruption became a lesson in embracing life's surprises with an open heart. Family life, with unexpected visits or shifting responsibilities, can strengthen bonds when met with kindness, patience, and empathy. Misaki chose to see challenges as opportunities, and in doing so, her family grew closer. Her brother-in-law gained independence, and she discovered new depth in her role. Her story reminds us that true happiness comes not from avoiding responsibility, but from embracing it with love. Small acts of care transform ordinary days into lasting memories and meaningful lessons for all.